Hi everyone, welcome back to my channel. I feel a little breathless here. So this is a video that I have postponed probably for years. And you're probably going to be wondering like, what's the big deal? It's about makeup and chronic illness. I've been wanting to do a video focused on makeup and, medical issues and stuff like that, because I know that there are a lot of people out there with sensitivities. I think a lot of chronically ill people have sensitivities. I think it's just it comes with the territory. But the issue is that we are all so different. There's some people that I follow on social media that have like mast cell disease, and I don't know. I feel weird recommending makeup or showing you the makeup that I use, because it's like I'm scared that somebody's going to use it and then end up having this like huge allergic reaction, and then I'm just like, well, I don't have mast cell. I don't have mast cell, but I do have histamine issues. And the other reason why I've put this video off for so long is because my issues have actually gotten worse in the last 3 years. So I think a few years ago, I was I don't know, I was using some kind of a face wash or something, and it had like vitamin C or something in it. I don't think that was what caused me to become more sensitive. I think my health has just been kind of slowly getting worse. And but for whatever reason, I associated it with this face wash that I was using, and like I started having just really bad like burning, almost as if I had over exfoliated my skin. And I had a lot of the symptoms of like over exfoliation. You can Google it and find out what that is. And so I stopped using the face wash, but slowly started to realize that a lot of the cosmetics or even face creams, my skincare stuff, I could no longer tolerate. Obviously, it's easy to blame the face wash. I know that it's me. I know that it's my condition. Around the same time, I started having increased issues with histamine, which, if you want to know what that is, go ahead and Google that as well. It's a long story. But, I kind of thought to myself, this, I can make this video and maybe there will be somebody out there that's like, okay, I can try some of these products. They're not expensive products. I will not buy expensive makeup for this reason, because I more than likely will not tolerate it. And the fact that I've become so extremely sensitive has narrowed down all of my makeup options. So I kind of feel like maybe this would help someone that's also like me, that's just got no other options left. I mean, I'm sensitive to just about everything out there with the exception of, these few things. It looks like a lot of makeup, but when you compare it to like the average woman or even like these beauty influencers that literally they can put everything on their face, I'm literally like bare bones. There are three brands that you're going to hear about over and over again. It doesn't mean that I don't use other brands, and it doesn't mean that these brands are hypoallergenic across the board. Just for whatever reason, there are multiple products from these specific brands that have worked for me. The other thing that I wanted to say, or at least give you guys a heads up, is that I do use other products that do bother my skin. So I'm not going to mention any of those products in this video because they do bother my skin. I use them because I like them and I use them sparingly, and depending on the occasion, I will use them because I can tolerate the discomfort for a short amount of time, but I'm not going to mention them in this video. Sorry, my throat is dry. I'm not going to mention them because if I'm sensitive to it, I feel like anybody else with a chronic condition is probably more than likely going to be sensitive as well. So obviously the golden rule of sensitive skin and makeup is if it has a fragrance, more than likely you should avoid it. So most of these, I think for the most part, these are unscented. I do use some scented cosmetics, because either they don't bother me as much or the discomfort is temporary and it kind of goes away over time. or just because I'm willing to tolerate it for a short amount of time. But I'm trying not to include any of those things in this video. If you have mast cell, please do not, take a risk. If you feel that these products are too risky, please don't risk it. It's, I'm just putting it out there because my condition has gotten so much worse, particularly when it comes to these weird skin sensitivities, that I'm like, I'm down to like a few products, and it's like, well, maybe there's someone out there that's like, I want to try some of these who's super duper sensitive that I can just refer to, right? So when I talk about sensitive, I watch a few beauty bloggers, and there's always one that's like, oh, I have very sensitive skin, and then you see them put everything and anything on their face, and I'm just like, you don't have sensitive skin. Like, don't tell me you have sensitive skin if you're putting all of that makeup on your face. For me, the issues are like a burning sensation. I've had like burning. I've actually even had the sensation of cold. There was one like foundation or BB cream I used to use, and every time I would use it, my nose would just become frigid. It's the weirdest sensation and one of the weirdest reactions I've ever had to cosmetics or to face products. But it would just, freezing cold and just on my nose. Sometimes I'll have like skin tightness. It'll make my skin feel really tight. It'll sort of highlight dryness and it feels like super tight there. My eyes will burn and they kind of feel like the eye sensitivity almost feels like when you're sleepy, that kind of weird dry eye type of situation. Also burning in your eyes. If it burns, it's definitely not going to work. Breakouts. I haven't really experienced breakouts too much, but I did, I think, recently try a foundation and I kind of felt like it gave me little small pimples. So that, I think that's what people typically think of when they feel that they're sensitive to something, to a cosmetic, they think about a breakout, which isn't necessarily my issue. For me, it's very sensation based. It's burning, feelings of coldness, feelings of tightness, just feeling dry. Sometimes they will leave my skin kind of dry. So there's a lot of that, sometimes scaliness on the eyelids and that kind of thing. So for face products, I am literally down to 2 foundations that I can use. One of them is the Healthy Foundation by Physicians Formula. Physicians Formula is it was developed by a doctor for his wife that had lupus. It's for sensitive skin. But I'm going to tell you right now, lately, they have been coming out with some heavily scented products. They are no longer the go-to for sensitive skin, at least in my opinion. But their foundation, which I think it's been discontinued, I've heard different rumors about it. This is the only actual foundation that I can use on my skin without any major discomfort or any noticeable discomfort. It's also a really good foundation, but this is basically it. I did recently find out that the Neutrogena Hydro Boost, this is not it's a hydrating tint. It's kind of like a light coverage foundation. And this one is better for like the winter because it's supposed to be hydrating. I have not had any issues with this one either. It's more dewy and it'll kind of like, if you have oily skin, it might not work. But that's it. That's all I can put on my face. I have other foundations that I'll use. They'll burn a little bit or they bug me. I'll use them short term, but as far as comfort goes, these are the only 2. And it kind of it sucks because I do have acne scarring, I do have discoloration, and it's like those are basically my options for like a liquid foundation. Burt's Bees does have a powder foundation. Now, I don't know, it's very light coverage. You can probably build it up to medium. I have not had any major sensitivities to it, although I would not say it's like the best looking foundation. And obviously you probably want to use this during the summer because it's a powder. It can look a little cakey. I do layer it on top of some of my foundation sometimes, but it can look a little cakey, especially when you're trying to get a little bit fuller coverage. But it doesn't bother my skin. As far as I've noticed, it doesn't seem to bug my skin, so I will use that one. I think that's like it for my face. My eyes are always the most difficult part of the face for me, and literally it's bare bones here. Burt's Bees mascara has worked for me. They have like these two that look like this. That's basically it when it comes to mascara. I did use a Pacifica one before, but I'm not sure if it did irritate my eyes or not. I just find these to be better for me. And also keep in mind, I'm not saying that these are perfect cosmetics. Do they flake? Do they transfer? Probably. But I can't compare it to anything else because I can't wear anything else. Burt's Bees mascara is basically it for me. Physicians Formula eyeliner, this specific one, the Eye Booster eyeliner, that's what I've been using for eyeliner when I use eyeliner. I actually have recently kind of stopped using eyeliner because they say that it ages you, like when you're getting a little bit older, like they say that eyeliner ages you. I don't know. This is the only eyeliner I use. It's very fine tipped. It's really difficult to line the bottom of your eye, so I just use it like on the top. That's it. It's the Physicians Formula Eye Booster eyeliner. That's literally the only eyeliner. Eyeshadow. This one I've agonized over eyeshadow, and again, not the best quality, not the best looking eyeshadow. I know it's, when you look at reviews, I know you might go to other videos to look at reviews for these products. I'm not telling you that these are great products. I'm telling you that I can tolerate these products. The discomfort is either very minimal or I don't notice it, or I can tolerate it. So, I'm not saying that these are fantastic, products that you should wear to like a special occasion, but Burt's Bees eyeshadow, these trios, that's it. That's the only eyeshadow I can use. Everything else that I have tried irritates my eyes, bothers my eyes. I've even started to suspect that these might irritate my eyes a little bit as well. But I don't notice anything consistent as far as every single time I put it on, my eyes are bothering me. Like sometimes it seems like my eyes bother me more, sometimes less. But for the most part, I'm more or less comfortable. Typically, I avoid putting on eyeshadow day to day. I use it for special occasions when we have company over, or like this when I'm doing a video and I want to look kind of nice, kind of alive. That's when I'll use eyeshadow. But that's it. Burt's Bees trios. That's the only thing that I found. When it comes to blush and bronzer, again, rule of thumb, try to go with unscented. I know the Physicians Formula Butter Bronzer is all the rage. I do use it. I do tolerate it pretty good. Sometimes, yes, I will feel a slight burning and it'll go away. I think when you have foundation or something between your skin and the bronzer, that might buffer the uncomfortable sensation. So I think that might help, but if you're really concerned, I would steer clear. It is heavily scented. It smells great, but it is very scented. This is the only thing from Honest Beauty you're going to see in this video. It is their bronzer. It is called the Luminizing Powder. I don't think it's even referred to as a bronzer. It's Luminizing Powder in Dusk Reflection. Looks like this. It's not scented. It's not scented. It's really pretty. I really like it. And I don't know if they still sell it. I think I found it at like a swap meet or something brand new. And I've loved it. I really like it a lot. I think it looks really nice. And I so far have not noticed any major issues. Now, when I say so far, it does not mean that I will not develop a problem with any of these products. I probably will at some point because I used to use a lot more 4 years ago, and I've had to eliminate like half of whatever I was using. As far as there's also a Burt's Bees blush. The Burt's Bees blushes, I believe they're unscented. Yeah, they're not scented. They have one that could also be a bronzer. I don't have it with me right now, but if you're looking for something from Burt's Bees, some of their blushes can double as bronzers. This one is the fresh apricot. They're really pigmented too. This one in particular is very pigmented. I seem to have no issues with it. Physicians Formula also has these, the multicolored blushes. So far, so good. I think I'm wearing this brand or this blush, but in a different color. I haven't noticed any major issues, and they are not scented. Yeah, they are not scented. They are pigmented, but they do seem to kind of wear off. But I mean, I think any blush does. And like I said, bronzer, I use Physicians Formula bronzers as well. They do have a lot of unscented bronzers. They have, I think, the Magic Mosaic bronzer. And I think they have a bronzer that looks like this as well that's also unscented. So those I think are good ones if you don't want to risk it with their scented products. I don't know why they are coming out with heavily scented everything. I mean, mascara, eyeshadow. You know, they used to be the go-to brand for sensitive skin. And they just, I don't know what's going on with them. They also have this highlighter, Physicians Formula Powder Palette Mineral Glow Pearls. It's a pretty decent highlighter, unscented. I double check because a lot of times it seems like they're starting to put scents in their previously unscented stuff. This one's nice. I do use a highlighter from Pacifica as well that's really pretty. It does have a light scent. I do use this highlighter from Burt's Bees. It does have something called linalool in it, which is a skin irritant. It's a known skin irritant. It will burn my skin a little bit, but again, on top of foundation, I seem to do okay. This one's like a creamy. It has coconut oil also, which I know a lot of people don't tolerate very well. So I can't say I recommend Burt's Bees highlighters, but I do use them. I do like them, but I would be very careful with that. Cream bronzer. Now, this is not a bronzer. This is actually the Hydro Boost foundation stick. So it's the stick version of the Neutrogena foundation. I found one in a dark color, in a chestnut color, and it has actually worked pretty good as a cream bronzer for me. I have never used a cream bronzer before because I'm sensitive to everything, but I did notice last winter my skin became very, very dry, so I'm trying to prepare for this winter, and I'm trying to get cream products. I have not found a cream blush that actually looks nice and doesn't bother my skin. I do have texture, I do have scarring, and cream stuff tends to highlight that, especially if it has like a weird shimmer. So this is my cream bronzer, which is basically a foundation stick. I use the Burt's Bees eyebrow pencil. I also use a Physicians Formula eyebrow pencil. Pencil seems to be okay. Sometimes it's the like eyebrow gels that give me issues. I do use the Physicians Formula one. I use the Pacifica one, but I have noticed some discomfort and itching from those. So I can't highly recommend them. I use Physicians Formula Insta-Ready concealer, and then their other, I don't even know, the name has rubbed off, this double concealer. This one is very drying, so if you have dry skin, I wouldn't recommend it. This one is really, really good. I don't seem to have any issues with it, and it also has really good coverage. It's really dirty, has good coverage, and I like it. But I think it's also been discontinued, so good luck finding that. Now on to lips. When I developed this increased sensitivity, my lips were the first thing and most sensitive thing. You would think it would be the eyes, but my lips just went nuts. I had to eliminate almost all of my lipsticks. So what I'm going to show you right now is the ones that don't bother me or that I don't notice the discomfort as much. I do use other lipsticks. I'm not going to even bother to show that to you because I develop dryness, scaliness, peeling, and sometimes if I keep using something that my lips don't like, I will get a cold sore. So just be careful for that. The lips are just, you wouldn't think that they're such a sensitive, tender part of your face, and it's just, they are the most finicky part of my entire face. For gloss, I use the Neutrogena Hydro Boost. I don't seem to have any major issues with it. And that's it. They're kind of sticky, they're kind of tacky, but I don't see huge issues. I'm wearing this one right now. I think I have it layered on top of something else. This is the Almond Nude Hydro Boost. lip gloss. I used to use a lot of Burt's Bees lipsticks. I can't anymore because they contain that product or that ingredient linalool. Linalool, I don't know how to pronounce it. These don't. The Burt's Bees lip crayons. They don't have a scent. They just smell like a crayon. This seems to work pretty good for my lips. Not long lasting, seems to work fine. I've tried several different colors. I think I have three. I think I've tried 3 or 4 different colors. I seem to be okay. So I don't know what it is about this particular Burt's Bees lip product. It seems to work for me decently. Physicians Formula has a couple of lip things. The Organic Wear Nourishing Lipstick, not the lip balm, the lipstick seems to work well for me. I think I have this one layered under here. The lip balm has, this one has like a light scent. Smells kind of like a crayon, I guess. The lip balm does smell like vanilla. This one doesn't seem to have a strong scent, so I'm guessing that the scent is what bothers me the most. I seem to do relatively well with these. And their Murmur Butter lip cream, I think they're called lip creams, also seem to be okay, but beware, they do contain sunscreen. If you are sensitive to sunscreen, these have sunscreen. You will taste it in your mouth as well if you put too much of this on. But I seem to be okay with these. I think they might tingle a little bit on my lips, but they're moisturizing and I seem to be doing okay with these. So that's all I can recommend. There's a brand called Axiology. They're very, very expensive. You're looking at $30 a lipstick. I would not even recommend it, but for whatever reason, I have done okay. I've had 3 different colors of these lipsticks. They're also like a lip crayon. They do have like an orange scent. I do think they contain orange peel or something, but so far I haven't had any major issues. I don't know why, because they do have a slight scent. And this is, I think, a clean beauty brand. I don't know why I'm okay with those. I would think that that would be one of the first things that I would not tolerate very well. Recently, I discovered the Revlon matte, I think it's like super lustrous matte lipsticks. It might be too soon for me to come to a conclusion on these, but I've tried other matte lipsticks. I've tried Physicians Formula matte lipsticks. I've tried, they just feel crusty and gross and they dry out my lips and they burn. And some of them are heavily scented. This one doesn't have any scent, I don't think. And they seem to be the most comfortable matte or kind of semi-matte lipstick that I've tried. So far, so good. I know that they have pretty good reviews and stuff. I found them at the swap meet. I don't pay full price for my makeup. I find them brand new at the swap meet. I'm not going to pay full price for anything because I know 9 times out of 10, I'm not going to tolerate it. So I think that's it. That's literally what I can put on my face. It does seem like a lot, but it really isn't. I mean, I have basically no eyeshadow options. I just bought every single Burt's Bees trio and I just keep them, and use them sparingly. And that's all. Like, I mean, it kind of sucks, especially if you like makeup, like, 'cause you can't really use anything, or if you have like a special occasion. Like I had a wedding a couple years ago, not my wedding, my sister's wedding. And I was like, what am I going to wear? Like, I want at least a full coverage foundation and some nice eyeshadow. I want to look a little smoky, a little fancy. And I had to work with this kind of stuff. I had to work because I was actually in the thick of my histamine issues. My hair was falling out. My skin was my head was itching. I mean, it was a nightmare. And these products were what got me through it. And they actually look pretty decent in photographs from what I've seen, because every picture they took of me that day, I had these makeup products on. So that's it. I mean, I can't say I highly recommend these products. If you are like me and you don't tolerate anything, it might be worth a shot. See if you could find them on sale. I know like Target and Walmart have them for lower prices. CVS can be really expensive. I do a lot of flea markets, a lot of swap meets. That's where I find my stuff. See if you could just try it out. only buy one. Don't buy a bunch of them because there's no telling if it's going to work for you or if you will develop a sensitivity over time, because that's what's happened to me. So I hope this is helpful. I really wanted it to be a lot more fun than it sounded, but that's all I got, guys. I mean, that's chronic illness. So thank you for joining me, and I will see you again very soon. Take care.